Hey, young scholars, just checking in. I hope your first week of distant learning went well. As a general reminder, if you need anything, if you're struggling, if you have a question or you just want to reach out and chat, I want to remind you that I am available for that. This video will be pretty short. I just want to introduce to you um, kind of what our upcoming weeks are going to look like in AVID. Um, in AVID, there's some pillars that we need to make sure that we are addressing, and one of those pillars is organization, including planning, and another pillar is inquiry, and make sure that we're thinking critically about our learning and what we're doing. So I'm showing you this screen here. You're going to have this assigned to you this week, and the way that it works, along the left-hand side will be your planner. And you can see there's a little grid here. And just like your planner when we had traditional face-to-face class, I want you to be specific. There's not a lot of room, so you don't have to write giant paragraphs. But let's say at 9 o'clock you um, decide to work on Algebra 2. I wouldn't want you to just type in Algebra 2, but instead I would want you to type specifically what you did. So maybe you completed worksheet 7.3 for Algebra 2. Maybe at 10 o'clock you had a Quizlet that you needed to do for world history. And maybe at 11:30 you were emailing your ELA teacher about an upcoming assignment. Be specific so that when I look at your plan for the day, I have a really good idea of what you're doing. Don't just write geometry, world history, um, biology, and then lunch. That doesn't tell me very much. So be specific with what you're doing. On the bottom of the left-hand side here, it says to do. These would be things that you have not yet done, but you need to make sure that you're thinking about. So maybe you have a quiz tomorrow, and so tonight you need to be studying for that quiz in your Spanish class. Maybe you're working on a PowerPoint presentation for design and draw, and so you would add those types of things on your to-do list. On the right-hand side, there's two questions for you. The top one is more academic. This is your learning log. This is where I want you to be thinking critically about what you're doing in class. So, what activities did you do today? What types of things are you learning about, and what are you confused on? You can almost think of that as your POC. I have six sentences minimum. I don't want you to just cruise through this in 1 or 2 minutes. I want you to really reflect and think about what you're learning uh, during that particular day. And then the bottom part is more open. This one can be more social or more personal. Things that you're thinking about, things that you might be worried about, things that you've observed. And so maybe that has to do with COVID-19. Maybe that has to do with family. Maybe that has to do with friends. But this is more of almost like a diary or a journal, and don't think that it has to be anything academic. And I have 6 sentence minimum there as well, and some of you may choose to write more, and that's perfectly acceptable. At the very bottom, you'll see the physical activity and the self-care for the day. Two things that are really important during this time. Make sure that you're finding something to do to be active. Maybe it's just going for a walk. Maybe it's doing a bunch of push-ups. I'll let you decide how to be physically active. And then self-care. How are you taking care of yourself? What are you doing to challenge your mind? What are you doing to expand your soul? Who are you reaching out to? Maybe you're playing a card game with a sibling, right? Some kind of self-care. You'll see on this document as I scroll down, I have another one for Tuesday and Wednesday, and you kind of get the picture. So what's going to happen is I'm going to put this out Monday, and then just like we check your planners every other day, that's how this is going to work. So I'm going to push it out on Monday, but know that you're going to end up getting 3 grades for this one document. I'm going to grade, ideally I'll grade Monday and Tuesdays on Tuesday night. I'll grade Wednesday and Thursdays on Thursday night, and then I'll grade Fridays sometime over the weekend, probably on Sunday. So don't neglect this. My hope is that you spend a little bit of time with it. It's not going to be the only thing we do in AVID, but it's going to kind of lay the foundation. Other than that, we're going to be doing some kind of projects or assignments, usually one a week, that look at careers and colleges and perhaps discussion boards over current events. And so we're going to be looking at that as well. If you have any questions about this document or in general, I do encourage you to reach out to me, and I hope you're doing well. Take care.